And you're talking about Jerry Coleman. I mean,
Oh.
there's so many stories, and I've heard you share so many stories about Jerry, and they're just wonderful. But the one that I really love is when you're on the air and you would ask him, like, so Jerry, what'd you do today?
What'd you do today?
Yeah. And that was just such a great bit. And we just like learn a lot more about him.
You know where I stole that? I stole that. Remember the comedian, one of the first female comedians who was really terrific and kind of the trailblazer for other women who women aren't funny. That Jerry Lewis always said that. Jerry was I'm not name dropping, was a great friend of mine late in his life and in mine. But Jerry always said that female comedians have set back comedy 1,000 years, Jerry would say. And he hated this one and he hated this one. And Elaine Boozler was really the first to get great recognition. She was dating, you're going to help me here, John, from Saturday Night Live, not from Saturday Night Live, but from Taxi, who played Latka. Famous comedian, did strange wrestling. He had an alter ego. He did strange wrestling things.
Christopher Lloyd.
Nope. And
No.
we'll think of him later.
Okay.
Anyway, they were dating. And so whenever Elaine Boozler
Andy Kaufman,
of course. And so Andy Kaufman would come to her shows and sit in the back. And then when there's a pause, he would say, Elaine, what'd you do today? I have no idea why. And that was their bit that Andy's here. Andy's here watching me, and they would laugh, and she wouldn't, bring him into the show perhaps or per se. And so I thought I somehow decided I'm going to do that with Jerry, because all the stories he tells me off the air and on are just wonderful with no guile and no ego. He's just and would tell stories on himself that would make him look like, a kind of a spacey guy who would forget stuff and use the wrong words, but he would tell those on himself. So I would never tell them on him if it made him mad, but he loved it to be called out on it. And so I would ask him. So we're doing a broadcast and we're in Denver. And the Hyatt that we stayed in was booked for a convention. So they put us at the Embassy Suites in downtown Denver. And so Jerry always, because his serum cholesterol was over 300, so the doctor put him on a walking program. He had to walk every morning. And so he's always like, Jerry, what'd you do today? Well, I went out for a walk. And I'm walking through downtown Denver. We're at a different hotel, I know. And I got lost. I got totally lost. And finally a cop comes up and says, "Can I help you, sir?" Because I'm looking around like a tourist from Tennessee and New York City, looking at the big buildings. Whoa, boy, totally lost. And he says, "Yeah, I'm with the Padres. We're playing the Rockies tonight in baseball, and I can't find my hotel. Do you remember anything about the name?" And Jerry says, I think it's the NBC Suites. NBC Suites. The cop says, "No, I don't think we have an NBC suite. We have an Embassy Suites." Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. So the guy literally walks me all the way to the Embassy Suites. I said, "Jerry, did you buy an ice cream cone and pat you on the top of the head and call your mom and say everything is okay?" No.
But it just seems so many like adventures.
Every day it was. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And then we're in Chicago, and I leave separately from him the day before, and I'm waiting forever. The cabs, there's lots of them, but they're all the Wrigley Field, 33,000 coming out. They want the cabs. And I go with him the next day, and he walks right out on the street, and the cab stops. We get in. How did you do that? So the next day I ask him, "Jerry, what'd you do today?" "Well, we did this and that and this and that." Then I tell the story. Jerry's unbelievable. I cannot get a cab when I'm alone, but with him, he walks right out there and he gets a cab. "Jerry," on the air, "how do you do that?" And he said, "Well, first of all, you got to expose yourself." Now, to him, he doesn't hear what the double entendre of that. But he says, you have to expose yourself. And so I always called him like from Burns and Allen. Mm-hmm. That leaves a lot of young people out. But Gracie and George, people remember George Burns when he was older, but they were married to Gracie. They were a comedy team, and George was a straight man, and Gracie was hysterical. So that's what I thought it was with me and Jerry.
Yeah.
So I would occasionally call him Gracie. So he says, "You got to expose yourself." Gracie explained this.
I mean, just what a special guy.
And he would say, "Yeah, you know what I mean. By expose yourself, you got to go out there and literally in front of the car, in front of the cab, and be there exposed." "Oh, that's why. Yeah, you know." He knew where I was leading him, leading the horse, not the water, but the trouble. And he said, "You got to stop him." I said, "Yeah, but those 300 people waiting in the cabs were calling us really, really bad names. Really ugly. I don't care. You get the cab and you go. And that's what he does. And it was just every day something else of what did you do today? And I remember Burns and Allen, that kind of Gracie stuff, where somebody would ask Gracie, "How was your vacation with George?" "It was fine." "Did you go by plane or boat?" "I don't know. George bought the tickets." That kind of stupid, crazy stuff. She was like that, and Jerry was unintentionally like that.
Yeah.
And everybody loved him more for it, including me.
Yeah.